Welcome everybody to UK Valorant. We are here with the first round of the tournament today, actually. I am Joe, aka McFluggermuffin, and I am joined by Hanno.
Hello, hello.
So,
we've got
first
some
round of the
interesting games tonight.
I think we're starting with Portsmouth Paladins versus RootKit Esports.
So that's Portsmouth against UEA. I spectated UEA the other day. They're quite a strong university. They did okay. Portsmouth, obviously well known in the CS scene, being a very, very strong side. The Portsmouth Paladins, an infamous name in esports. Who do you think is going to take the game today?
I'm honestly not sure. I mean, the Portsmouth team do have 8 players total, so I don't know who we're actually going to see today. And I haven't seen any of the players from either side, actually. So I don't think I'll be gambling on this one. But I'll take your word for it if you say University of East Anglia have a good team.
Well, I don't know if you know many of the players, but Dargon, I believe, is playing today for UEA, and he's a very strong player. Maximus as well, playing for UEA. Taste of the Void and OT Cook. I played all of these players before. They're some very strong players. I don't think I know many of the Paladins players, so it'll be interesting to see them play today. But yeah, I mean, what map are you really looking for? Because we were talking earlier about Split, but there's also Bind. And I forget the name of the last one to go into as well. Haven as well. What are you hoping for?
Bind is my personal favorite. I love the teleporters so much. It's just, to me, it's my favorite map. But I'd also would like to see a game on Split.
Well, we've got a confirmation. It is Bind. We will be getting Bind. That is going to be interesting. Quite like that. The teleporters, interesting. Always produce some interesting plays with those fakes, those rotates. All sorts of interesting stuff to come through from that.
And we do see, I think, Portsmouth Paladins on the defense first. Yes, indeed. Portsmouth Paladins on defense, RootKit on attack.
That's going to favor them for sure, though. And defending side in Valorant is always slightly easier, I would say. The amount of utility they can use to just slow the opposition, flash them, keep them, on the back foot is insane.
Yeah, I think that's why I think this game will lend itself a lot better to best of 3 formats for that reason. Because then obviously you get, at least one match when you're defending first, at least one match when you're attacking first. And obviously I don't know the long-term stats of everything. That's more your job in this situation. But I feel like with this game, it might be, the win rate of teams that defend first might be higher than the win rate of teams that attack first in matches. Well,
the difficulty in that is, of course, that you can say that if they start first, then they're going to get a big lead. But then once they swap side, if they're unable to take any rounds on the attacking side, then the people who started on attacking side, this is a very similar thing in CS. Like, do you want to begin on that defending side and have the advantage and try and get as many rounds as possible, or do you want to end on it and try and bring back whatever round difference and close out the game on that CT side? I don't know if you've ever played Nuke on CS, but that is one of those maps which was very, very polarized, very, very CT sided, and it was always a toss up. Do you try and get those 2 or 3 rounds on T side, on the attacking side, to allow you to swap to the other side and have close out the game, or do you put yourself ahead at the start and hope to get a few on the flip side of the map? It's always an interesting question. But I don't know who chose to start where, but Portsmouth on the defending side, we'll see how they do on that side.
I'm just excited to see, as we sort of go through this tournament, as we were talking about before the stream with the production team, the stats that we sort of generate from it. So we'll be able to see sort of which teams throughout the UK, throughout our network, sort of like show themselves off to be, real contenders for the winners, even in the early group stage.
Yeah, I mean, it'll be nice to. I mean, this is a first look really at some of these teams. A lot of these teams haven't played together as a 5-stack on the server. So having the universities combine their teams, getting all 5 players in, it's going to be interesting to see how their tactics differ. how playing as a 5-stack, evolves the gameplay really, because that communication is going to be there, the tactics, the setup, it's all going to be there. As we go further into this tournament, people scrim more, people play more, especially by playoffs. I expect to see a huge difference in just how players set up, how they use their utility, and generally how the games are played.
Yeah, I think for a lot of teams, or more specifically, a lot of the players we've seen really perform well, sort of Sorkus. I mean, we have seen him in show matches as well, but some of the players we've seen perform really well, but only in the 10-mans where they're kind of put with random people. I'm expecting them to do even better when the team that they're playing with are, their friends, people they've practiced with, like they've got good communication right off the bat. They're, probably going to come off maybe half an hour to an hours of practice before the tournament matches. So they'll be in the zone. It's just going to, I think, make for a lot more interesting gameplay to watch from them.
Yeah, well, we should be getting into the game shortly in a couple of minutes. But yeah, I feel like it's going to be very interesting, this first game, because obviously I don't think there's been much seeding. So
no.
These first few rounds, these group stages could be rather randomized here, and we could have some very polar games. But hopefully these teams. I mean, I know UEA's got some strong players. Paladins is a strong, historically strong side in other games, so hopefully comes out good.
And I mean, obviously, we have 32 teams in the tournament altogether, so there are going to be some that are stronger than others. But I think, like you say, by the playoffs, we'll be seeing some very strong teams battling it out for that grand final.
Yeah, and obviously we're at the whim of Riot. So overtime at the moment, I believe, is just one round where you get your ult set to half and your money is set to 5,000, which is not particularly balanced, especially if you end that second half on the defending side and it's 12-12, you get a huge advantage.
See, I don't know. I think maybe it should be best of 3, just so, because as you say, if you're on the defending side, you have such a big advantage. Perhaps you could do one round on whichever side you're on, reset again, do one on the other side, and then reset and go back again for your sort of 3, and keep going back and forth until one team wins 2 in a row.
What they do on CS tend to do is they have 6 extra rounds of overtime. So they have you on the side you finish on, you then play on that side again for 3 rounds. Then you swap over and you play on the other side again for 3 rounds. So what you're trying to do is you're trying to get 4 out of the 6 rounds. And if you go 3-3, it's overtime. That tends to balance out a little better. Obviously, there's strats depending on if you want to start on the defending side, if you want to start on the attacking side. That's always going to be interesting. Hopefully, the overtime system will be changed at some point. Maybe not in this tournament, because that might throw the games a bit when some teams are playing on one overtime system and others aren't. But yeah, if that comes through, that's always nice to see the competitive side of the game evolve. Especially in those draws, can be really, really frustrating if they just win one round off one mistake.
I suppose that actually, I forgot what I was going to say. It gives a lot of, I've got it again. It gives a lot of sort of closure in that final round. Because, I mean, if you hit 12-12 in a game of Valorant, it's clear that both of them are very close anyway. So I think it's just kind of nice to get it over and done with in that one round. But like you say, it does give a lot of advantage to the defenders.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think one round overtime is enough. Surely it will change in the future. But we're at the mercy of Riot. They will do what they want.
They'll decide for us.
We should be having ranked coming out shortly. That their Twitter is always keeping us updated. But they said in the next few days, I believe, it should be coming out.
Apparently it's already in the game, just not available.
Yeah, it's already in the game. That they said they would enable it once the game was stable and all I think it was like uncounterable exploits were fixed. Once all that was fixed, they would release rank, which hopefully next couple of days everyone will be out there grinding rank soon, trying to get that top Valorant role, which I'm sure is coveted by many people watching the stream right now.
I mean, if you wanted to know which team is better to start on, perhaps it is attack, because then if you do go to overtime, you've got that 25th round on defense.
Yeah, I mean, that is true.
But then I don't think you ever want to plan for a game to go 12-12.
No, that is fairly, rarely a plan unless you lose all 12 rounds on your attacking side, and then
God,
if it's that close.
that's a defender-sided map and a half. If you can go 12-0 down on attack and then 12-12 on defense,
Would be quite a polarizing game. I think that those sort of games where you see those sort of long, large swings tend to happen purely off mental. It's very similar in CS again that um, the game is not necessarily about skill, because a lot of pro players are very close on skill. It's about
yeah,
keeping that mental, keeping that momentum, keeping the mental, keeping yourself focused on the game, not raging, not being annoyed by some wall bang that you thought, oh, how did they
was
get that?
impossible. Yeah,
Yeah, the mental in this game is going to be vital for winning these games.
mm.
Um, especially if you're far ahead and you start sort of messing around, not really focusing on actually winning these rounds, going for those clutch plays when you probably should be saving whatever. Um, the mental is really what's going to affect some of those closer games out there.
Mm. Do you expect? I mean, I know in CS, obviously, there's a lot of maps, but there's only sort of a much smaller competitive pool for ranked and such. Do you think we'll see the same system in this game, or do you think we're going to just get like maybe 1 or 2 more maps, and then that's going to be it, and we're just going to be stuck with sort of the same 5 all the time?
Well, they said they'd be releasing 1 or 2 more in the closed beta, right? That's what I think I remember from watching those streams at the start of the beta before I got my key. Lucky me. And then we should, I believe. I don't think they would go on adding maps forever. I don't know if you've played much Siege, but they sort of keep adding maps, and they've had to get it so they have an active duty, a bit like Counter-Strike has. But Counter-Strike doesn't add a huge amount of maps. They have that workshop option, whereas Valorant won't have that workshop option. Whereas Rainbow Six has gone down the other route of adding. They used to add a map every season. Now I don't think Valorant is going to go down that route, because a map every season you're learning this new map.
You'll hardly adjust to it before the next one.
Exactly. Like the first few weeks of ranked are just people getting caught by angles they're not expecting. Like I feel like they'll add new maps, but it'll be sparse, so they don't have to start removing old ones from the game or add an active duty in for a while, because that will be annoying. If someone particularly likes Bind, it's really annoying when that then gets taken out of the competitive match pool and you then don't get to play that map in your ranked games. Hopefully they will add some more in the open beta soon, though. I like 3 maps, getting a bit stale now. I'm fed up of holding B site on Bind, or C on I think it's Haven, isn't it, with the 3 sites?
Especially when no one likes Split.
Well, I would say no one likes Split. Some people like Split, but they're just in the minority from what I understand.
I could see them. I definitely think that as a lot of people want the accuracy on ropes to decrease, I could definitely see them doing that. But then I don't know, because they might have some sort of grand plan for ropes. I mean, there's only ropes on 1 map right now, so maybe it's not that big of an issue.
I mean, I quite like the ropes. Very exploitable. I mean, going up and just peeking with your little head is it's quite fun. I don't think it's particularly fun for the opposition that some guy peeks with the tiniest amount of their head and one-shots them because they're perfectly accurate.
Something I'm slightly curious about is if sort of, I suppose each map right now has a gimmick, right? So Haven has the 3 sites, Split has the ropes, and Bind has the teleporters. I wonder if we'll see them repeated anywhere.
I don't know if I like it yet.
Each map has a thing.
Yeah, I don't like it. I don't know if I like it yet. Like I do like the variation between the maps, but I don't know if having that gimmick is necessary. I believe we should be getting this game very soon, as all players are now finally in the game.
Apparently one of them was doing the update that came out, I think yesterday or the day before.
I think the players were told about that, but they didn't have one of them updated. But we should be getting into the game very, very soon. We'll tell you guys as soon as we're about to go into that. So it will be Bind and
Portsmouth on defense to start.
Portsmouth on defense.
So what are you expecting to see now that the picks are done? Just really quickly before we get in, who are you expecting to see?
Obviously, we're going to see a Sage on both teams. Yeah. Obviously, we're going to see either a Cypher or a Sova on both teams. So here we see it. A Cypher and a Sova both on the UEA side. On both teams have both a Cypher and a Sova and a Sage with
and a Brimstone.
Brimstone as well. Just the Jet and the Breach differing. I feel like Breach gives them gives UEA a bit of an advantage here, because Jet really, that ult is useful on eco rounds, but you're rarely going to win those rounds anyway. The Q and the E of Jet, I quite like him. I'm a Jet OTP. I love the agent.
Yeah,
but
I have to agree with you there completely.
I can't get behind picking Jet over a Breach in this scenario. Like, the Breach Flash, they don't even have a Phoenix. Clearing angles is going to be rather a pain for this Portsmouth side, although they are starting defense, so perhaps it's an advantage here.
And we see the attackers come up through the long here. They are being spotted by the camera, so it seems they're going to go for a rotate with the teleporter, which is... I mean, Portsmouth catch on pretty quickly after they hear the sounds, but they were going for a full rotate very early on there. Sage wall blocking their path, but they're going to push through it. And they're going to teleport again. That is sneaky from them, trying to get those defenders in the wrong place, the wrong time, and they will now charge on to B, committing to it. Dargon finds the kill on Pinu very early on with a headshot through a wall there. And F22 makes it 2 men up for the attackers. Yuki Boy there finds a frag, but gets taken down by Maximus in return. Just 2 defenders left here to push onto site.
It's going to be a hard retake for them here. I believe the team names are the wrong way around right now, but it will swap over in a second. Yeah, UEA going to have an easy time defending this site.
Oh, Ports, yeah, UEA defending the site now as they have claimed it. Both of the the defenders, sorry, trying to push on through the same angle. One of them does go down, and I think it will just be a round for UEA here. Although, Karma does find the frag on one, but can't quite find a second. Will take down Maximus, but die to the bomb. Not that it really matters, and that is in fact a round for UEA there. Or RootKit, I should say.
Yeah, we haven't got the team, we've got the unis there. Stream has frozen for us. We will see what happens. Oh, okay, we're back into it. So we're getting 2 Bulldogs out here for Dargon and F22. Now, I've seen these guys play before. That's a really, really strong combo. The F22 and Dargon capable of getting a lot of frags in these games. The Bulldog, not my favorite gun, but it's so much stronger than some of these SMGs.
Pistols, yeah.
And the pistols.
We see the attackers pushing up very aggressively through short. Do find the frag on Talon, and they now have control, but still 2 defenders left behind. Stage wall blocking them off and forcing them to go through lamps, or break it down and reveal where they are. Although actually, I think that might have been theirs, trying to get that spike down right on the corner there, where they can easily defend it. Maximus caught off guard there, but doesn't quite go down. The stream seems to have frozen for me again. Ooh, 3 defenders down there very quickly, and the attackers get a flawless victory.
So
that is assuming great play, but unfortunately I did not quite see it.
Yeah, I think UEA showing a bit of dominance, pushing straight under site there, showing their respect for the defending Portsmouth side there. Like, they just walked up A short. There was no little fights. They walked in there, took out the players and planted. That default spot by the truck there is a really, really nice spot to get that bomb down, especially when you get that Sage rule across. Once you take short, you essentially have the site, because it doesn't matter who's in showers or who's at the back of site, you can just wall them all off, which is really, really strong. And you can get in those afterburn positions. Yes, you don't have showers control, but that's fine.
Yeah, I mean, East Anglia here again, going for a push-up long. They do switch over to the defender view, but they are going to get onto site straight away. There's no defenders trying to stop them. Apart from Pinu, pops out to try and get them, but does get refragged after 1 kill. Yuki Boy taking down another attacker. Ooh, finds 2 nice headshots there, taking down Cook and Alfeek. It's great play from him, just 1 attacker left. Pins it in the corner as Karma finds a frag, and that's a round for Portsmouth now, just trying to regain their losses.
Yeah, that's a really nice round there, coming back from 2 pretty insane losses for Portsmouth there. UEA taking the first 2 rounds, but then Portsmouth coming back with the 3rd, only losing 1 player there. UEA with no ults for this next round, although it does look like they'll get the Sova one up this round, and potentially Dargon will get his as well. Portsmouth with 2, the Sova ult, always very useful, good for intel, good for a bit of damage if you can. But that jet ult, again, not that much use on a buy round, really. You'd rather use the Vandal with that one-tap potential.
I think the knives are a lot better for sort of an eco, as you say.
Yeah. But,
the attacker's trying to split push. Karma will get a pick on Maximus. Also down trying to repeat that, but can't quite find him. Tauden is ready there to wall off short if the attackers try and push off up, as she does, to stop them from even getting to teleporter. But we'll get flashed. Unfortunately, not able to find a frag straight away, and does go down to Dargon. A nice headshot there.
Yeah, good pick from him.
Ooh, out faked. Finding another as he pushes into showers. A site is almost completely clear, but the defenders are now rotating over to defend it.
But the attackers aren't pushing on. They're staying very much in their ace short and showers positions.
Trying to play it safe, it seems. F22 here. Flashing and pushing onto site. Will he see the player in secret? You see them actually going for a rotate through the teleporters. Pinu will come up here from behind them, not quite finding the frag as he reveals himself and going down to F22. Unfortunate for him there. He did catch them completely off guard, but just couldn't quite find the frag. Finding F22 finds his second of the round on Lukey Boy. Hook hit, trying to play aggressive towards despawn as there's just one defender left there.
Yeah, this is looking like a round for UEA. I don't think Dargon's gonna be able to. Wait, sorry, I don't think Olsandon is gonna be able to survive here. He's caught between a rock and a hard place, and he goes down. Yeah, Portsmouth not able to hold back, or with a bit of a weird rotate there. They had Pinu push up behind them ace short, but they didn't really. I don't think they really considered the fact that UEA just could go through the teleporter and head straight onto B site. UEA's clearly got some defined strats here. You know, they had that guy in long, making it look like it wouldn't be a teleporter play because, you know, how's that guy long going to get through the teleporter? But there was only one there, and all the other players managed to go through the teleporter in A short there and walk onto B with zero opposition. Pinu, like, not fast enough to get back and prevent them from getting through from the teleport into hookah.
You see Talon here going for the same wall, but not boosting herself up. Has a nice recon bolt. Recon bolt reveals multiple defenders there. Dargon finding the frag on Talon. Very nice play for him as he pushes through onto site, and he makes it through without going down. Also down here, holding with the Sheriff, same as Lukey Boy. And Karma. Seems like a bit of an eco around here as F22 takes down Ulsadan. It's just down to 3 players from the Portsmouth Paladins here. Oh, Cook tries to push around the corner but gets headshot by Karma there. Dargon does find the refrag as Pinu finds a headshot on Alfiek, and Maximus again gets a refrag. Just Lukey Boy left. And will get found by Dargon for his 3rd kill of the round.
And Dargon with some impressive plays. I'm telling you, this guy is a player to watch out for. I've always seen him play the Brimstone, and he's been really, really lethal. Yeah, F22 and Dargon with 6 kills each. F22 beating Dargon out with 1 less death and 1 more assist than him. These 2 players, very, very strong. Really melting this Portsmouth side. Yeah, Talon and Olsendan with 0 kills so far, 5 rounds into this game. Bit of a weaker buy here from Portsmouth with a Bulldog on Talon, but they do have the Operator and 3 Vandals, so those are going to be able to do some major work here. The Spike heading towards A long.
Karma here, trying to watch from a nice position, I think only accessible to Jet and Raze, which is often what she leads herself to do. The attackers again playing a very split strategy as Olsam finds an early frag on Outfit there with a cheeky angle from Cubby. Maximus steals the spike and I think he's going to go for a rotate onto B site. Don't think they've quite found the entry frags they need to push onto A. Although he seems indecisive. As all of the attackers just hold angles here, waiting for the attackers to push up. Dargon there, getting flash players in the team. Unfortunately not going, well, fortunately not going down because of it.
Smoke's down. Molly.
Smoke off site and use on Molotov. I think he's just trying to convince the defenders that they are still on that site as they will pull back, and now they are all going for a rotate onto B site, mostly through mid, but a couple of them going long. Pinu here, trying to hold it off by himself, putting down some tripwires. Ooh, a cage, in fact, actually, sorry. Try and hold them off for as long as possible.
Caught one.
The Aldrain coming in to spot them, and he will find a double frag, 3 frags there That is great play from him, holding that angle all by himself to really throw down and finds a 4th frag on F22 for a round for Portsmouth. Great play from Pinu there.
That angle through in hookah there, no one ever checks the left-hand side, but it looked like they did check it, but their teammate stood in front of them from what I saw. It wasn't quite clear on my screen, but yeah, Pinu taking 3 there. That's really, really big for Portsmouth. Pretty much giving them the round there. East Anglia, they were really trying to push that A short aggression. But Portsmouth didn't fall for it, and they left the 2 guys on B. Pinu staying in hookah, the other guy staying in CT. They didn't fall for it. They didn't over-rotate like they have done a couple of rounds in the past, and UEA suffered for it.
Karma here, still playing with that operator from last round, trying to find a frag, and Will on F22 as he just doesn't check the angles completely. That is nice play there. Again, going for a short/long play. UEA really being thrown off. Now, they were playing much differently in the first few rounds to how they are playing right now.
They're playing a lot faster earlier in the game, but now they're playing a lot slower, not going for that early round aggression, are they?
Cook here, holding an angle over short, but won't quite see any defenders just yet. So all of them are now down in the bottom of A short, but they will start pushing.
Prepare for hellfire.
Oh, the Brimstone ult comes down and does in fact kill also down. Great use there to find a foothold on site, but I don't think it's quite enough to get them all the way in, as Talon does find the frag on Dargon in return. And the spike is now going down inside of smoke in default. Oh, the Hunter's Fury comes through. Don't know if it will find anyone. Karma still holding with the operator, trying to get those wall bangs behind boxes as Pinu and Talon both find frags. Just one attacker left, goes down to Pinu again. Great play from him, and the defuse will go up, and Portsmouth win their 3rd round.
That's a really strong retake from Portsmouth there. They let UEA take that truck position, get the plant down, but they had them almost completely surrounded. There was nowhere they could escape to. They still had the defenders had Sage in long, ready to peek out on that position. There wasn't a wall there from East Anglia, so it was only a smoke preventing the defenders from pushing through, which isn't really much of a defense when that one smoke doesn't cover the whole gap between that truck and the wall behind them. So it's easy to creep by.
And we did actually see Pinu again playing very well, flanking them and finding 2 frags in reward to try and win the round. And it did in fact pay off for him, as the attackers now go for B long. Bit of a change in their strategies. Might see them teleport as they did right at the start of the match.
The very first round, I believe.
Flash coming in from Breach here, I believe. Trying to get onto site as they all push on very aggressively, but Lukey Boy here, seeing where they are, can't quite get a frag, and will get taken down by Maximus. And the attackers now with a strong foothold on B, but they don't know that Pinu is up here. And Talon does get a headshot on F22. Pinu there, punishing with his hidden position, getting 1 frag. Don't know if he'll manage to find another. Talon there with another. This is great. Another great retake from Portsmouth as Brimstone ult comes in, trying to push them out of bunker. Maximus there with 1 frag this round. It won't quite be enough as Karma finds one on OT Cookie. On OT Cook, sorry. Maximus with his 3rd as a refrag. 4 on Talon. Pulls off the ace. That is great play from him. Somewhat desperate round for UEA, but he manages to pull it back.
Maximus getting the ace there, but also a 1v3 scenario with the bomb down and plenty of time for the defenders to defuse. That was just brilliant individual play from Maximus there to pull that round back for UEA, giving them a 2-round lead over Portsmouth here. Hopefully they can extend this further. But they have changed up the pace of the game from those first 2 or 3 rounds. They were very, very aggressive, pushing straight up to the site and then diving through the teleporter onto another one, or faking out the enemy team with rotates. But they've been playing a little bit slow there. But that last round, they went for full-on long aggression. And although they barely got the round, they did get it.
Maximus really clutching at the end of the round there. Again, they seem to be playing very slowly around short and showers. Or into showers, sorry. And trying to get that entry frag. Don't know if they're going to get it. And 1 player from the defending team does flank round. Try and catch them off guard. As Dargon here pushes onto site with the Molotov. The smoke will come down, blocking him off. A lot of defenders waiting there for them. As Elsadam finds the frag on Maximus. gets a second on F22, and Karma takes down an attacker as well. But Dargon does manage to get one pick in return, but that's not going to be enough to keep them where they need to be, as Karma peeks around the corner and gets a headshot on Dargon. Out fake here, pushing onto site, finds one, but can't quite find the second as Lukey Boy takes him down, and that's a round for Portsmouth.
Yeah, Portsmouth really knows their angles. So there's been a lot of times where they haven't even seen the player, but they're peeking out and they're wallbanging, because in Valorant, it is so easy to get a huge amount of damage onto an enemy player when you're just spamming through like walls and boxes. Almost anything is wallbangable and still does a significant amount of damage. So they were killing people in Cubby and pushing onto that site with their pre-firing and their wallbangs there very effectively.
Portsmouth, I think, really showing their skills in retakes, though. There's been a lot of times where, not so much in that round, but in a lot of rounds where they've pulled off some quite impressive retakes once the bomb has gone down. Oh, Pinu there with an early shot on F22. Can't quite find the second, and does go down to Alfier. The recon bolt will spot them, and the operator is now lost to the attacking side. That could be quite a big deal here, as Cook picks it up and uses it to hold that angle. Lukey Boy seeing them all with his owl drone there. The bomb will go down nonetheless. Dargon plays in this teleporter room, waiting to peek out when someone pushes through mid, but I don't think that's going to happen. Karma here, pushing up from behind. Also down, also finding a frag. Maximus, however, getting the refrag on that one, but Karma is still behind them, and they will push back onto site with just 2 attackers left up in window. Karma popping the ult, but Dargon gets 2 very quick kills there with a headshot and a wallbang. Maybe lucky with the wallbang, but either way, they did manage to pull off the round.
I think there you see the effectiveness of Jet's ult. I mean, in a full buy round where the opposition has those AKs, those Vandals, sorry, those knives, not a huge amount of use. But yeah, that was a really good hold from UAE. Both their players were trapped in hookah there, and it could have been really awkward if someone had got on the bomb and someone had held hookah, but that didn't happen. So they managed to clean up the round.
And we do in fact see the attackers, 4 of them trying to go for a short, one of them going onto mid, probably for a strategy that we will see, possibly a rotate through the teleporter, as Cook walls them all over the wall. F22 finds a frag, Karma finds that refrag, and a second on Alfier. It is great play from her there to hold off the attackers on short, and it looks like they're going to go for a rotate onto mid with just Cook staying behind. There are only 3 of them left, and Karma will continue to hold down short.
Yeah, 4 against 3 here. It's going to be tough for UEA to make any advances here with the player down on their attacking side.
And we see actually all of a sudden they've started playing a lot more slowly, trying to push up mid into hookah with the spike. There is a player waiting for them, but Cook will go for the revive on F22. Giving them 4 men, but Karma will completely own that by putting them straight back in the ground with a nice headshot. Inu again holding down Hookah with the cage. Holding a different angle this time though, trying to get those frags as the attackers use the teleporter and go back to A. Karma still holding it down though. Will she find more frags?
Get smokes off though, it'd be difficult.
Oh, Dargon there with a nice flick. Getting the headshot on Karma, ending her kill streak. This Lukey Boy uses the owl drone again to get information as Maximus gets a headshot when pushing onto site. Ooh, Cook there, taking down one. Taking down Pinu. And Lukey Boy getting the wallbang on the spike planter on Maximus. Do see just 2 players from UEA left on site defending the bomb. And just a Lukey Boy on his own trying to retake it.
Nowhere to run.
We see that his Hunter's Fury comes in, does find 1 frag there on Cook. Can't quite find the second. It does get information about where he is.
Don't think he's going to defuse this bomb.
Pushes around rather aggressively and does actually find his 3rd frag of the round on Dargon, but as you say, I don't know if there's enough time for him to get the defuse. He is going to try and stick it. It's going to be close. Oh, just so close there. Unfortunately,
0.39 seconds left on that defuse. That is a very close round. But yeah, good usage of the ultimate there. That he killed a player and managed to find the location of the other one. which is a lot more than I normally see from my usual server ults going out. But yeah, that's a very close round for them. But UEA up 7-4 over Portsmouth here. I think this is the last round of the half. We're going to be going into swap sides soon and see if UEA can keep up their lead.
I mean, we'll have to see, but either way, we're in a good position for both teams to win in the second half. There's 7-4 not being bad. As Karma gets an early pick there on Alfie there. Nice headshot. Not good for UEA here, but they can still win this as we have seen before. Especially with players like Maximus on your team. Pinu here going for a flank. Not pushing too aggressively, as I think he has heard players in link. As they push away, he could get some kills here if he pushes around soon. Lots of defenders flanking here. F22 and Maximus both finding frags. Talon also. And Talon does res Karma to give University of Portsmouth well, 4 of their players left, as Talon finds a second frag on F22 there. Just 2 attackers left, but the spike does go down, and they're again planting in that corner of A by the U-Haul truck. Pinu there, pulling off his flank perfectly to find the frag on RootKit. Dargonava does refrag it, and the ult comes down, finding a kill for him. Well, he did get the headshot before it happened, but was still very nice. Defuse here, going on. Dargon won't catch it in time as Talon stops, and he gets the frag for 3 this round, and another round for Portsmouth in this half.
I almost thought Dargon had that there. That ult usage and the kills there, 1v2, I could see it happening, but that is going to make it 7-5 at the end of the first half there, with UEA leading by 2 rounds. They need 6 rounds on this defending side to win this game. Do you reckon they're going to happen?
I don't know. I think, as we did discuss, this game is a bit defender-sided, so I think going 7-5 when you start on attack is not too worrying. I think you're sat quite comfortably, only being 2 rounds down.
But we haven't seen their defensive side yet. It might be catastrophic, and that's what we've got to wait and see. I think from when I last watched them, they were quite strong, but I guess we'll see in this very first round with Portsmouth looking at some strong A aggression here. All 5 players towards this site.
Looks like 4 of them actually going short, pushing very quickly here. Trying to push onto that A site. Portsmouth actually putting 3 players... Well, 1 player in long, sorry. And UEA putting 3 on B at the start of the round, but they have rotated round to put 3 on A instead. The attackers here pushing very aggressively onto site. Karma using the E to dash across. As Pinu finds a great frag on Dargon there, giving them the foothold they need to push on completely. Can't quite find the second, but still, it's a great entry frag, and the spike does go down. Maximus hit, trying to push onto site to get that defuse. Will find a headshot on Pinu to even out the players. Karma here with a great flank on Cook, and Talon with a kill on Maximus. This is great play. Talon with her second of the round on F22. We find just 1 player on the defending side left. And he will go down to Talon for 3 kills that round, and a round for Portsmouth right at the start there.
Yeah, really good round from Portsmouth. I think UEA just thought Showers was clear when they didn't see anything with that smoke out there. So Dargon got caught out in the open, which big shame for him because he's one of those top fraggers on that UEA side. Wasn't able to hold the site without him. UEA did have a good rotate though. They did leave 2 players towards B in case the teleporter play occurred, but they did get that 3rd guy over onto A with good hold. We've got all of the I think it's shorties. All the players of UEA with shorties. A very strong gun if you can get close enough, but that is the difficulty, getting close enough to the enemy.
And we do actually see them playing angles that really play into it, playing very tight and close. Oh, Talon there. Finding a frag on Cook, not quite enough damage with that shorty. Alfiek will get the refrag as Pinu takes him down as well. There's 2 players down on the defending side as the spike goes down very early on, but the teleporter does come through from the defenders. Maximus here, finding a headshot through the wall on Pinu, evening it out to a 3v3, but the attackers do have strong side control. As Olsan gets a great headshot there as Dargon tries to push on Lukey Boy, finding out some information for his team, as Olsan and Karma both find frags there at the end for a round for Portsmouth again.
I mean, it's expected with the the SMG advantage they have over their shotguns, but I think UEA got a few too many kills there than Portsmouth would have liked. Those players losing their armor and losing his SMGs, which might have given them a bit of an economy boost in this third round of the half.
And we do see, actually, it's coming back to 7-7, so we're an even playing field, just 6 rounds for either team to win. And we'll see how that plays out.
Yeah, I mean, UEA not seeming to have a strong defensive side at the moment, but they haven't really had a chance to show it to us, so we'll give them the benefit of the doubt for now.
As we do actually see Pinu pushing up very aggressively into hookah here, trying to find a frag on whoever's watching it, but I don't think he'll see all of the tech going down as a recon bolt spots him. Now Fiat gets a shot off through the cage and gets the frag. Shot dart there from him, trying to find the rest of the attacks, but they're not there as Luki Boy pushes onto short. The wall bang will come through and deal him some damage. The defenders here playing very strongly to stop the attackers pushing into short and using that teleporter. It does look like the attackers are going for a rotate onto B. Talon there stopping the recon bolt, but still hasn't pushed in as the rest of the attackers join her. And Alfiak holding that angle to try and get 1 or 2 picks as they push into hookah. The Aldrone again coming around to get that information, will get taken down, but Alfiak now knows what he needs to know. Ulsadam finds the headshot on him first, however. Cook spraying 2 down as they jump onto site. Luki Boy managing to find that refrag and possibly, yes, get the spike down, but only 2 attackers left to 3 players on the University of East Anglia's side as all 3 of them push from D side spawn. Smoke's coming in from Brimstone here. Trying to stop Karma in window from getting any frags. Does look like it's worked as they get firmly onto site and start that defuse. Luki Boy finds 1 headshot on Dargon, but F22 gets the refrag. The defuse does start again. Karma finds the frag on F22. It's just a 1-on-1 for her now. Maximus here. Can't quite get the defuse off just yet. And Karma finds a second headshot, second kill, to clutch the round for University of Portsmouth.
That is a really nice... I really thought UE had the retake there in a 3-on-2 scenario. The players basically stuck in hookah there. It looked like a UEA round, but Karma with some brilliant... Taking out one of them. And then the diffuser had to leave the bomb and try and take the fight. But I don't even think he had enough time once he went to take the fight there to win the round. Very, very tough round there. Very tough retake there, UEA. But yeah, Portsmouth taking the lead here on the attacking side. So maybe this map is more attacker favored than we thought, or Portsmouth just have some really, really nice attacking style tactics.
I mean, we've seen great tactics from both sides. Portsmouth
so far,
now
yeah.
opting for a sort of mid-push, but holding long and short as well, just to try and cover their butts. Pinu here, playing at the back of hookah. The rest of his teams are backing up. No defenders in there this time. One will try and rotate, but Ulsadam will get that frag. OT Cook finding one as well, though. The attackers still just playing in mid, although they are going to go for a rotate through Link, it looks like, to go towards A. As Pinu gets spotted here and gets tripwired, finds the frag on Alfiak and finds a second on Maximus. Now he is disorientated with Cook just below the window, who will find the headshot with that shotgun. The attackers have rotated back to back him up, but I don't know if it will be enough for them to gain site control. As both defenders now over there, and it looks like they're going back to their rotate strategy.
Yeah, the UEA looks like they're finally catching on, rotating, but it's going to be too late. Portsmouth is going to take the site, getting a revive off there, making it a 3v3. But those players are going to be really late to the site.
The bomb again going down in that same corner spot. I think it's just the strongest to defend, but I'm not sure. As the ult comes in from Brimstone there, Dargon pushing through it very aggressively to get a frag on Karma. Will take a bit of damage as Cook is her third for the round, putting the attackers down from a 3-2 lead to a 3-1 man advantage.
Dargon does have his ult here, though. He could be looking to zone off that player and go for the defuse.
Alfiak, though, finding the frag anyway. The defuse is going to come in. It's going to be 8-8 here as a round goes in the favor of RootKit.
Really nice balanced game there. Yeah, 16 seconds left on that that bomb timer. That was a very swift retake for East Anglia there. Portsmouth not able to hold on to that bomb site at all. Going into this round, we've got it's gonna be a hard buy here from Portsmouth with not a huge amount of money on many of their players. Pinu has picked up an 8, but he has sold it. Okay, it looks like they're only going for an eco round here with Deagles and
Classics.
Maybe half armor there, classics as well. East Anglia looking nice with all these Vandals. An Operator on F22. And 3 Phantoms, actually. I prefer the Phantom over the Vandal, but...
Pinu has actually picked up a shotgun here to push very aggressively into... Although the attackers did leave the one behind us. F22 gets a pick with that Operator, making it worth its money early on into the round there. As Portsmouth lose a player very early on. OT Cook again finding a frag on Talon, leaving the University of Portsmouth 2 players down as the Hunter's Fury comes in from Alfie, finding those players, finding a frag, as well as Maximus getting one. Just down to 1 player on Portsmouth here. Could be a flawless victory for UEA.
Yeah, and they've spotted him out as well.
Getting spotted. He's only got this shotgun. This could be dangerous for him. Using that recon bolt to try and escape. Probably just going to go for a save, though. Not that a Bucky is a great thing to save.
He doesn't have any armor here, so I think he's really just looking to try and do some economy damage here. I don't think he's going to save this weapon, or if it's worth saving.
Oh, as he does find a frag on Maximus, but gets too aggressive in getting that weapon as Dargon is backing him up and gets the refrag. Only 1 player taken down there, whereas maybe if he'd been a bit more vigilant, he could have gotten 2.
Yeah, I mean, 9-8, UEA up 1 round. It's still close, but yeah, that defending advantage might be looking in UEA's favour here. Gonna get a full buyout from Portsmouth round, opting for the 5 Vandals, whereas UEA still taking 2 Phantoms, but with 2 operators this time. That is a strong composition. If they're going to have 1 in that A heaven and 1 at the back of B, it's going to be really, really hard if they don't use their utility right for Portsmouth to take these sites.
Although we do see Portsmouth with 4 ults up at the moment, so this could be quite good for them. And the Hunter's Fury coming in here will find information and 1 frag on F22. Lukey Boy there, using it to push onto site. And it will go for a teleport, but not with the spike, perhaps just to throw the defenders off. As Dargon here holds site with Maximus. Talent finds the frag on Maximus. Dargon finds the refrag and gets the spike down on site. With Karma there pushing on very aggressively and finding a nice headshot there. And now just 2 defenders left to 4 attackers. The spike goes down again in that corner by the truck. Lukey Boy stealing the operator for his team as Cook does find 1 frag on Karma. Perhaps this will be a retake. We'll have to see. Lukey Boy there with a great flick onto Alfie. Evening it out as Cook finds a headshot on Amsterdam, but gets refragged by Pinu, and that's a round for Portsmouth. Bringing it back to 9-9 once again.
Yeah, 9-9. That's a close scoreline still. We're keeping it close this game. Yeah, I mean, that teleporter play from Portsmouth was sending 1 player through, sacrificing 1 of your men onto the site to just delay that rotate a little bit, to put a little bit of indecision into the minds of UEA there. UEA kept their 2 players on B, even though that short aggression was coming out super, super fast onto the A site because they heard that teleporter, and they weren't sure if Portsmouth would change and go to B site. It's a really nice play. That's one of those usage of the gimmick of this map, allowing you to tell the other team with just 1 noise that you actually might be thinking of the site, and that they didn't know what to do there. They didn't rotate, and the 2 players were really late to the site, and Portsmouth took the site relatively unchallenged.
Yeah, F22 trying to play aggressively with that operator, but will pull back. As OT Cook finds a great pick on Pinu as he peeks out early on long. The attackers, though, going A, probably just trying to get some early frags in the round to stop the rotates with Pinu there. Unfortunately, it didn't pay off as 3 attackers now pushing into short. Also down at the front. We'll take some damage, but won't go down as Lukey Boy pushes into Lamster, gets taken down immediately by F22. Dargon here finds the frag on the planter. Maximus also getting 1, but the spike is down as Karma gets 1 pick with the operator through the smoke. But she is the only attacker left, and I think she's probably just going to save that operator for next round as the defuse is about to go off. But the defenders do seem like they want to find her, but I don't think it's going to happen.
Yeah, I think Portsmouth failing to clear that angle at the back of site there on A. There's multiple rounds there where Dargon's just swung out onto the guy planting by the truck and taken a free kill. Yeah, that's a little bit of an issue there for Portsmouth. If they can maybe, I mean, they haven't used that wall there. Maybe they didn't have the utility there, but if they know they're going for an A push, perhaps they should invest in that smoke or that wall, because planting that spike does give you that little bit of extra money. Going into the next round can really change up your buy.
We actually see UEA again going one round ahead, but if the rest of the game is anything to go by, this won't last for long. It's Karma playing with the operator here, but the recon bolt will come out and reveal that there is at least one player in long. Again, playing very slowly. Well, Portsmouth playing a lot slower this round as they have in the past. As Pino again gets peeked, but Karma there to back him up and get the headshot on Cook with the operator. Now still pushing up further onto site.
Still 2 players on this B site. 3. One rotating over from A. Spike heading towards middle.
The interrogate there coming in from Cypher to reveal where the defenders are, and that will force a rotate from the attackers. But I think the defenders have also cottoned on that they might have been leaving it to expose. Def22 gets a great pick there with the operator, but Lukey Boy finds the refrag and gets the plant onto A site with just one defender there to challenge. Won't be in there in time to stop the plant. However, all 3 have now rotated over, and Pinu holding a very close angle with that shotgun.
Gotcha.
Dargon seeing the edge of the gun through the wall and wallbanging Pinu. Just 3 on 3 now as Karma peeks out with this operator, will get smoked out. Lukey Boy finds the frag on Dargon, but gets refragged by Alfec, and Karma does get a pick with the operator. Just one defender left now, and I think the attackers know where he is. As Ulsadan gets a great headshot there to close out the round for Portsmouth. And again, as I said, getting it back to even Stevens.
Yeah, 10-10. This game is back and forth. This is very, very nice game selected for us here. It's one of the more even games I think is going to be in this tournament then, with 10-10. Back and forth, you can see in this second half. The defending advantage, not really apparent here, as East Anglia's only managed to get 3 rounds on the defending side. Clearly, Portsmouth's attack is incredibly strong here. They've got 4 ults on the UEA side, though. So if they use them correctly, especially that breach shot, that's really, really strong on repelling an attack, knocking you back, reducing your firing speed. Really, really effective.
Pinu pushes up very aggressively here, but I don't know if he'll be does find the frag on Alfiak and spots the tripwire just before he goes through it. The cage comes down to try and block them off. That is the spike moving through mid, going for a rotate onto long here as Cook holds the opposite side angle to usual, trying to get those picks as he peeks out. Pinu watching the wrong side, so we could see him go down here. Cook with the ability to teleport at any time, finds the frag on Ulsadan, doesn't quite find the second as Pinu gets him down. We now have spike left in the B-link area. It will be taken possibly to rotate onto A, as we see here. 4 attackers now pushing up onto A, 2 short, 2 in the showers area. As the ult comes down there, can't quite kill Talon, but does damage him and force his hand in healing. Dargon using it to push very aggressively onto the attackers here. We'll find 2 very quick frags there on Talon and Lukey Boy, going for a teleport to get himself out of danger as Carmen gets the entry frag onto A, and A is now completely undefended, but they don't quite have the spike yet. They will have to go back and grab it. There's 2 defenders here. Rotate around the back to reinforce the site.
Yep, they're pretty certain that Portsmouth is going for this site.
Karma here, trying to get that another pick with the operator, but Quan can't find it as Dargon gets his 3rd kill through the wall. Maximus and Dargon here in a 2v1 situation with Pinu. This could be interesting as they are all very good players.
I know exactly where you are.
And the interrogate will come in to find Pinu. Maximus and Dargon now pushing up as Dargon gets his 4th frag of the round, and Maximus is allowed to defuse with no attackers to stop him.
Yeah, that's a really good use of the Cypher ult there. You know, in that 2v1 scenario, you don't want to put one the defuse and have one guarding him, because the chance that the guy peeks out and takes down both of you is actually pretty high. So that Cypher ult, giving the information on where he is, they know exactly which angle to watch. They can bait him out with the defuse. Although he knows he's been revealed, he has to go for the peek, and he gets taken down this other round for UEA.
Can someone get this?
11-10. We're closing in on match point here. UEA with one more round to get to the covered in 12 rounds of match point there.
Also down with a very early frag there on Alfiak with a nice headshot with that Sheriff. I think it might be a bit of an eco for University of Portsmouth here. But Cook getting an amazing wallbang headshot there on Karma. Don't know quite how he did that. Pinu pushing onto site will spot the tripwire and take it down again with another Sheriff. The respawn comes in from the attackers here. Lukey Boy finds a frag with the ultimate. Can't quite find a second as F22 gets one frag, but gets refragged by Karma, and Maximus takes down also down. Karma again getting a refrag. The attackers now with firm control over B and just one defender left to try and retake it. Great play on quite an eco round there from them.
Yeah, I mean, Yui had 2 players tucked into that right-hand side of B site in that cubby, but they didn't manage to get the kills they were looking for, and they went down, and that was the site pretty much empty there. Yeah, Dargon going to save it. I think this is the right decision, really. Save that Phantom, keep it for the next round, because doesn't want to let Portsmouth get to that match point.
And again, it's going to go 11-11 here.
Evening out the scoreboard yet again.
every time in this half, someone pulls one round ahead. The other team are right there, watching over their shoulder and retaking that next round. I think this leads to it possibly a very interesting match point after this round, possibly overtime after the next 2.
Potentially, but again, overtime is only 1 round, so it won't be that epic of a long game if it does get to that. Yeah, we're seeing Portsmouth here bringing out 2 Phantoms, 2 Vandals, and our Operator. A bit of a weak buy on the UEA side with that pretty damaged economy. Yeah, a Bucky on Alphiac there, Bulldog on F22. Although you can make the F20 the Bulldog work for you, that Bucky is pretty situational. He's not going to do much on a retake with that thing.
Pinu playing with the Operator there, but we'll get spotted by a recon bot, but not who it is. Just that there is a player down at the bottom of long, trying to peek and get a cook when he swings out. F22 there with a great kill on Talon with his ability there. Also then trying to cover the same angle. Can't quite push on the site, and will get flashed there. Won't get taken down. Smoke comes down to block him. All 4 attackers at very different points, each one on a different lane of the map. If you divert your eyes to the top left, and we see them pushing both long and showers, but holding short and mid.
Yeah, the attackers really spread across the map here. No indication of what they're going to do apart from that spike is towards A there. These 2 players getting very close together.
We see Pinu pushing up aggressively with the Operator. Will he find the frag? Or will he see the player holding the angle? As he will, and gets the frag on Alfiak. Great entry frag there, but now he has to play more cautiously because he has been completely revealed. Will interrogate and see the tripwire. Great play there, but the cage comes up to try and block him off. The location of all the defenders is now known, and one of them is trapped in that teleporter room. Karma there trying to shoot through the wall, but can't quite find the frag. They will now know that there's a player there. Cook there, using great positioning to get 3 frags before Lukey Boy puts an end to it, and Maximus gets the refrag, and it's a round for UEA, putting them safely into either winning the game or going to overtime.
There are 2 positions on that B side that no one ever checks. The first is the left side of Hookah, and the second is that corner in the cubby on the left side of B. I have seen so many multi-frags from that position because people just don't check it. That tripwire went down on the wrong side of it, and then the Jet pushed onto site, Karma pushing onto site there, and didn't check the angle. Did check the right side cubby, but not the left, and that opened her team up to 3 deaths there. But bring it to 12-11. East Anglia with match point here.
And we see Portsmouth need to win the next 2 rounds in a row. So they are going to go for an A push quite solidly up short with 1 player in showers and 1 going long to try and get some early frags in the round to make the retake a little bit harder. Short push is not moving too quickly with them playing cautiously, trying to get those first frags. Can't quite get them as Dargon here, holding on site. Pinu will get an entry frag on Maximus, taking the defenders just down to 4 people. F22 once again playing in the lamps area and finding 1 frag, but they have rotated using the teleporter onto B site. That right side cubby coming in great there, as Cook again gets 2 kills that round. Will get taken down by Lukey Boy, but Dargon finding another headshot, leaving just Lukey Boy with the spike on his own. Tries to go for the plant, but cancels it. Knows he doesn't have enough time to do it without getting picked. Fakes it out, but F22 with the wall bang there. And that's a win for the University of East Anglia, winning them the entire match.
13-11. That is a really good game from both sides there. Portsmouth at the very end not able to take that round after UEA brought it to match point there. Wow, brilliant game. Look at Karma there with 25 frags and an econ rating of 111. Wow, making use of those guns. Inu, again, 20 frags. Lukey Boy with 18. But yeah, Dargon there, I told you he was a player to watch out for. 23 frags. Really, really big impact on that game, but wasn't enough to... was enough it. I now cannot see which was on which team, so I actually can't.
I believe Karma was on the losing side there, unfortunately.
Yeah, Karma on the losing side there, still with 25 frags. Dargon with 23. Yeah, it's a great victory for UEA there.
I think really we saw Cook there holding some great angles on the B site, and I think that was probably what gave them so much success in those last few rounds. I don't know if you'd agree with me there.
Yeah, I definitely would. I think we're going to be getting Dargon in for an interview here. See what he thinks about the game there. And then after the interviews, we will be going on to the next game, which I've heard both teams got 13-0'd in the next game.
We have we have Tom and his tank engines.
Southampton, my university. I must confess, I am a member of that team, although I'm not playing on it tonight.
I don't want to see any favoritism in your casting.
Of course not. I won't. But yeah, the other team as well getting 13-0. But yeah, that'll be an interesting match. But I think we have Dargon here now for the interview. Hello, Dargon. How do you feel coming out of that game there? Really, really close one.
Yeah, that was stressful towards the end. It seemed like it was going good towards the start, like on our attacking side. We got quite a few rounds, but they managed to get just the odd rounds here and there, which like kept them close. And then on our defending side, we had like some close rounds that we could have possibly won. We also won some rounds we shouldn't have won, but it was just close. It just came down to them last few rounds where we just managed to get them solid setups and just hold them off.
Yeah, what do you think it was that really played or made you gain your eventual success in the match?
I think it was just their lack of executes. Generally, they would have 5 towards the site, sort of attack it, say some smokes, a recon, dart, and that would sort of be it. And then they'll sort of just attack the site quite dry, which is which sort of played to their advantage at the start because we wasn't ready for that. Like we'd have a smoke on short and they would walk through it. We just wasn't expecting that. That caught us off towards the beginning, but we sort of just learned their sort of play style. Like, oh yeah, they're gonna have like say 4 towards the window, which they did quite a lot. And we're just like, as long as we have them early rotates, we can hold them off long enough, sort of thing.
Yeah, I mean, you started off your attacking side with some real good fakes out there. I think you pushed aggressively up A short, then fell straight through the teleporter. And yeah, Portsmouth had pretty much rotated all their players off. And I think Penny was the only one who sort of caught the back of you as you came out of the teleporters there. I mean, was that a predefined strat? Was that an on-the-fly call?
That was the strat we just run as like a joke in a lot of just matches. Just sort of, oh yeah, let's go 5 pistol, just go through the long teleporter, go back towards the mid teleporter. And it just seems to confuse everyone. They don't really know what's going on, so we're just running around as 5 instead, sort of just running all over the map.
It was an interesting strategy. I mean, do you not see yourself playing more strategies like that in a sort of a more serious sense?
Well, we haven't had that much practice. We don't have many set executes. We have just the util we can throw. We have some fakes we can throw with the util. But strategies like that, like where it's quite situational, like it works in pistol quite well, but when you're against different agents on, like you don't know where the agents are playing to start with. Say if there's a sage wall, it could block it. Like they're the sage 1A short, but we sort of just spam through it, I think. So strats like that in gun rounds are more situational, just because you don't necessarily know what agents, like if there's different agents, then you want to take it different ways. So you just got to be more flexible.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much for coming to talk to us, and congratulations on your victory.
Thank you.
And we're going to go to a short break now, but in just 5 minutes' time, we'll be back with the Staffordshire Simps. Sorry, I can't talk for some reason. And against Thomas and his tank engines. So we will see you in 5 minutes.